All right, guys, so it's been a bumpy week for me. We're down negative 3.5%. It is all my fault, which is why I'm going to show you guys my mistakes in this video right now. First, let's look at our trading logs. You guys can see the balance is 48,343. The starting balance was 50,000. That's why it's 3.5, 3.6%, whatever. I took a couple losers. I made some mistakes, but we're going to talk about that right now. So our first trade was on the 18th. Marked down our pre-session highs and lows. Price came back to a demand zone. Price went up, pulled back. It went up. It was about to hit, like it was about to get closer to 101. Ended up dropping. Yeah, so this says June 18th. And at 10 o'clock, we don't have any news. To be honest, we didn't have any news at all other than 8:30. So this push right here isn't a news push. This was actually a good loss. It was a strategy loss. The losses after this were mental mistakes. And they're all on gold. It was back-to-back days, which is how I know it was mental mistakes. And plus, I already seen the errors, so that's what I'm gonna show you guys. So you guys can see this. Don't mind this. This is the trade I should have taken and the trade I should have held using my new method for increasing my risk to reward, basically, which is once again holding to the higher time frame levels using price action and market structure. But anyways, price came here. Let me erase this real quick. I seen it like this. I seen price like this. I'm not gonna lie, this is just a bad trade. So price, once again, our pre-session lows, we have it marked up. We have the low of this pattern. This is the low. Price already hit the lows, but I'm still looking to take an entry. Why? Because I'm a fool. I shouldn't have done that, seriously. I should have been patient and just walked away from it. And this is a better trade because it's the anticipation for the breakout out of the pre-session lows. But we know this is a channel on a higher time frame, so it has a high likelihood of doing that, specifically because it's the 5-minute chart. And what do we see? Price gave us a complete impulse right down to the lows. It didn't create like a little mini range correcting down. It went straight down, as you guys can see, which shows smart money was in the building. Price was ready to go, and that was the initial entry. That was the only entry, only valid entry. And I tried to get in here thinking that this is just not a good zone, because if anything, this would be the second zone. You know what I'm saying? So, and we all know that. Price came down. I took this entry right here, and I wanted to hold it to the lows, or at least the first target was going to be the lows. The second target would have been the higher time frame lows, because this is a bigger channel on the higher time frame. This is like the hour. This is a 1 hour channel, so that's why I could scalp it to the lows, and you see it was able to be scalped. But on the higher time frame, like the daily, this was a daily range, and this was on the daily chart, it was correcting. Let me show you guys. So this is the 4-hour chart. I'm gonna show you the 4-hour chart because it's a little better, because it has more, a little bit more candles, so we can see the range. On the daily chart is only like a couple candles, or like 4 or 5. So we can see on the 4-hour chart, price is pulling back to these lows. And what did it do? It did pull back to these lows. I mean, my fault. Pull back to the highs, pull back to the swing high, and it corrected. So this gave us more confluence to hold it. And we could have basically, with this trade that you guys seen before, where I had the trade right here, this is the hour chart, and this is that low. You know what I'm saying? This is that 4-hour low for the correction breakout. So we go to the 5-minute, and look how beautiful it looks. Anyhow, when it goes to the 5-minute, that's where I want to hold it to. If I was gonna take like half position off, or just hold the whole position and take it to the lows to get like at least a 2.5. But even then, I was kind of suspect about that. But what I seen was this was a bad entry, bad trade. Wasn't the first pullback. I only trade the first pullback. I barely even trade the second pullback. I might trade a second pullback, but with pairs like gold, crude oil, NAS, US 30, and S&P, when price wants to move, it really moves. So like I don't really need to. It's not like Forex no more, where I like the second pullback would be kind of like a play that I'm really looking for, because price is always just acting, I don't know, it's just slow. It's just slow compared to like futures. So anyways, with this trade, this is the great entry, the best entry, and we could take it to the lows, and that would have got us like a 1.5, 1 to 6R, 1 to 7R trade. So that's what I'm gonna be working on this weekend. Instead of holding to the 5-minute, I think I'm probably gonna only hold to these like the higher time frame levels. Look on the daily chart, price pushed up and then pulled back. That's what we look for on every chart. We're looking for that break and retest. So we see price clearly failed on the daily chart. Look, price came here, gave us a black candle. It just kept going through and it pushed right through. So when it pushed right through, we see, okay, what is price doing? Let's go to the lower time frame so we get some more candlesticks, so we can look at price action, the way that market structure is moving. When we see price action, we see price broke out this trend line right here, but it ended up going down, and that would have been a stop out. So whoever was swing trading, if you took that trade, you would have got stopped out, which is okay, because then now you know price is going to the downside, and then we see the correction going to the top. You could have scalped this correction up to this zone, to the swing high right here. Let's go to the 1-hour chart, which is why you guys can see I did get a setup on this day, but I didn't end up taking that setup which is probably what also made me get like a little bit forceful when it came to this day, and especially because I had to wait this day. I don't know. I'm kind of iffy about it because like constantly tracking my emotions and watching my thoughts and how I feel when I'm seeing certain movements in price. But this week I definitely slipped, and I will say that I definitely slipped bad. I usually don't take 2 trades a day, and that's what I'm gonna show you guys in this trade right now. So what you guys can see is price broke through, and it gave us that impulse out of that correction. If you guys listen to my other videos, you guys know I'm always looking for the impulse out of the correction breakout. Price corrects, and then we're looking for that breakout. That breakout is always gonna be followed by an impulse, and then a pullback. You can see on the hour chart we got that pullback. So on the 4-hour chart, it's the correction, and then on the hour chart, this is the pullback. So this is the pullback where we know, okay, this would have given us confluences to hold that first entry, which is up here, not this entry. This trade is a fail. This was never a valid level. It was it's like the third. You could tell it's like the third to fourth micro swing, which is our supply and demand levels. And we don't want to trade the third to fourth supply and demand levels because you get chopped out like this. Because price is always going to be retesting and then continuing and retesting, continuing. So with that, we want to get the first pullback, get to the highs, and price. This would have been a high, and we could see if I would have swung this trade, I would have seen that price give us a pullback, showing that okay, price is breaking out. It's a valid breakout, and is getting the momentum it needs by collecting the orders after the retest, and then seeing that continuation. I would have just held through, like I do with every other trade. So then, what do? I move on to the next day after I see this, and this is the next day. So let's go to the 5-minute chart real quick, and you guys can see that hour breakout too. We don't really have the market pre-session high because you see price is clearly not like up there, but just because. So you can see this pre-session low. With this pre-session low, price broke out of it, and I wasn't really looking at this as like a valid breakout, which it wasn't because it didn't give us the 2-candle push. So with price not closing below this low, I thought, okay, this is the invalid pullback. We don't want to take this. It's not a valid breakout. It didn't give us the market structure that we need to see or that we're looking for us to take the trade, which was true, which was a good analysis on my part. But then price ended up going down, and I don't know why, but I do know why. I seen NAS. I seen US 30 pushing up, or my fault. Yeah, I seen US 30 pushing up. NAS there's pushing up, and I wasn't getting a pullback. And I missed this trade right here actually, because this is 9:30. I don't trade at 9:30. I trade 10 minutes after, so I didn't take this trade. And with that, I ended up getting in here thinking, okay, price is moving today. Let me try to just get in the trade. I'm not gonna lie, that's how I thought. And it wasn't like just get in the trade though. Obviously, you guys know I'm looking for levels, but this is the invalid level. I marked this level up right here saying this is the second pullback, but we can clearly see that this is the second pull. This is the first pullback, and the price never hit this level is a problem. So what I did was when price came to this level, I ended up looking and I took this trade right here. I took this trade, this candle, and I held it to the lows first target, and then obviously my higher time frame levels that I was just talking to you guys about. But then I realized, okay, maybe this is an invalid trade, so I ended up taking out early. When I ended up taking out early was when I seen price started to push up. And then I'm like, okay, this is probably not a good level, so I erased it again, and I left this level here. And then I seen price touch this level, and then I then I seen price touch this level. So what I did was I waited for a candlestick, and once it closed, I took a trade and was holding to the lows. This trade, I ended up taking out like early too, because I realized I didn't have my computer too, and that's another problem I probably never ever do again, which is never trade on my phone, because on my phone the candlesticks looked completely different. Look, it never touched the level. So the whole time I'm thinking that it touched the level and this is like a valid setup, and then I ended up taking a trade, and I was just like, all right, I'm taking out. I'm gonna take out for a 0.5% loss, not a 1% loss, 0.5% loss, and I'm gonna just have to eat this. You know what I'm saying? It definitely hurt to see this loss right here, and then this loss right here. Basically the same mistakes almost. Trying to like force a trade almost. Trying to be bigger than the system. Not respecting the system, losing respect for it, feeling like I can still make money even if I just do what I want in a sense. Even though that's not how I was thinking, that's what my actions were putting out. It reflected a sense of overconfidence, you know what I'm saying? Because why else would I do this? This isn't the behavior that got me funded, you know what I'm saying? It's not the behavior that got me even a payout. This isn't the behavior that even got me out of drawdown from the first time. So this is a problem. This is a serious problem, and I'm gonna get on it. So what I'm doing now is obviously you guys see I'm back testing, and it hurts even more, I'm not gonna lie, seeing trades like this. This is all I need. This would have ended my week. You know what I'm saying? This is 6%. This would have ended my week, literally. 6% on a 5K account. I literally just got 6% in the period of 4 weeks. 6% off one trade on the 50K account. That's another 3,000. I would easily store that, and that allowed me to scale up. So that is the trades though. That's pretty much what I want to talk to you guys about. I kind of just, I kind of use this as a journal. Like I looked at me being in drawdown, and I see how I was able to get out of it, get paid, and you guys can definitely see I'm going through it. I'm definitely I'm definitely am eager. I really want my 20 to 50K months. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to scale up so bad, so bad. But I gotta be patient, gotta be disciplined, and that's why I'm back testing, which you guys can see right here. Back testing, trying to get these longer targets, which you can see is the daily bounce, 4-hour bounce pullback. Go to the hour level, and then we go to the 5-minute chart, and you can see it gave us once again another 1 to 5. I mean 1 to 6, 1 to 7. So beautiful. That's what we're looking for. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to implement in my trading. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to show you guys my losses, show you guys that losing is a part of the game. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you don't want to lose like this. You want to take strategy losses, because right now I'm putting myself in a bad predicament where I could end up taking 2-3 strategy losses. Even though I do have a high run rate with my strategy, I could end up taking 2 to 3 losses that are strategy losses, and now it hindered me because I already took 4 pointless losers. So it's bad. Obviously, they're not all 1%, which is why I didn't lose like 1, 2, 3, 4, the full 4%. But even me cutting losses short, if it's a pointless trade, it doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? There's no excuses. So that's it. You guys can see this, my trading log, the count size, this week's the profit I lost this week. When I go to all, you can see we're still in profit though. You know what I'm saying? Like from the money that we withdrawn from the account, this is the money we withdrawn from the account right here. That's the money we withdrawn from the account, so we're still in profit technically. But obviously we're in drawdown right now. So it is what it is. This is all I want to show you guys. If you got any value from this video, subscribe, comment, like, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.